7:34 Tuesday morning. You know what that means? Well, it means we still have a lot of country music, but we get a special guest that drops in every now and then. Well, not every now and then, mostly Tuesdays. We like to sit down and find out what's going on with whether it's road construction, which we don't have going on this time of the year, but we do have roads that get a little slippery and they still got to be taken care of. And the guy to talk to is, that knows everything that's going, the ins and outs of the roadways. Pete Helmstead. Good morning, Pete.
Morning, Jay.
How are you today?
Doing well. Sun's up. It's supposed to be warmer. It's a good day.
Right. Yeah. 40s today, they say.
I can deal with that.
Right.
I think we deserve it after the last few weeks.
Oh, boy, I tell you, I would rather have, 40-degree temperatures and snow and like a big blizzard outside than I would these cold temperatures.
Completely agree. Because then we get those cold temperatures, you usually get the wind as well. And
Right.
it's just a really bad combination.
Yeah, not good at all. It makes
Nope.
you just want to stay home. The work from home employees are loving it because they don't have to go outside.
Yeah, I know people who have taken advantage of it, and I don't blame them a bit.
So not much going on. I mean, when we don't have really, I mean, there has been some spots on the back roads, probably the blacktops, that there is snow that blows across there. I noticed that on Sunday, some of the back roads were that way.
Yeah, the big thing. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's what I was wondering. It just they don't get cleared off as much as the main roads, or usually.
Right. Yeah, the big thing right now that you've got to watch out for, and we treated our trouble areas and bridges yesterday, but is the frost. The frost that will form in the morning, so you get some slippery spots that you aren't always ready for. But beware on bridges, shaded areas that can form. And the other thing you mentioned, the blowing snow. When we get snow blowing like that, and it's warmer, we call it blowing and sticking. It'll blow across the roads, it'll hit some wet spots, and the snow will stick, and then you get ice. So those are other things to watch out for. But right now, we're in pretty good shape. Like I said, we went out yesterday and treated some of our trouble areas just in preparation for the possibility of frost that looked like was very likely with the forecast. So hopefully we got out in front of it. But again, stay alert, be ready for it, especially on the bridges. And like you said, some of the back roads, different entities, the counties and things do differently than we do in the state, which is obviously fine, but it's just something you need to be aware of, that travel conditions can be a little bit different.
Well, when you're driving through and you got cornfield on this side or bean field on the other, that wind is blow, especially when the ditches get full. Doesn't matter if it's the back roads or the highways.
No, that's exactly right, and that's a really good point. Once the ditches get full, they don't trap the snow anymore. The snow just keeps going, and that's next place for it to go is right across the roadway. So again, we mentioned some of the problems that can cause with the blowing and sticking, and even with black ice, sometimes the snow gets trapped underneath vehicle tires, and it instantly freezes to the road, and that can cause black ice as well. So just because it's sunny out and it's 40 degrees or even 20, 30 degrees, you still got to be aware. It's still winter, and there can still be slippery spots, but overall, we're in pretty good shape right now.
Grandpa Jay, Uncle Pete, yeah, don't use your cruise control.
That's exactly right. It's exactly right. So yeah, that can cause issues. You don't want to end up hitting that patch of ice with the cruise on, because that usually ends up in a bad way.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The other thing too, like we have, people don't realize this, but like on 12th Street in Mason City, we've got that big bridge that goes over. I mean, that could be slippery going up or going down. And then there's one down on 19th Street as well.
Yep.
It goes up and over, so you get up, if you can get up that thing going down, it could be a little tricky too if it is slippery. So you got to be, we haven't had that issue yet, but I'm sure it's going to happen sometime this year.
Like you said, the bridges are a really, really big thing to watch out for, because that's where a lot of this stuff forms. There's air moving underneath and over the top of it. That causes issues. It causes things to freeze. It causes frost to form. And again, you really want to watch yourself on those things.
Yeah, exactly. So speaking of watching, Pete, what did you watch a Pro Bowl this past weekend?
I did not watch 1 second of it.
It's touch
just
football.
Like I haven't, like the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, it's touch football again.
Yeah, no, like I said, I haven't watched it in several years. I see a lot of people complaining about it on Twitter, and so yeah, no, it really does nothing for me. It's still a good honor. I think it's a great honor for a lot of the players to be chosen, but I don't know. I think something needs to be done differently. I don't know what that is, but I don't blame them. You don't want to go out there and
Get
blow out a
hurt.
knee. Yeah, miss most of the next season. So, but yeah, I don't know. They obviously must still be working for them, or they wouldn't be doing it. But it's kind of lost my interest. We'll leave it at that.
How about the big Super Bowl coming up this weekend?
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Should be fun to watch. There's obviously so many storylines like there always is. That Joe Burrows is just amazing. That I'm so impressed with him. Not just his talent, but his attitude. He's a kind of he see the way I always describe it. He doesn't just want to win. He wants to get ahead and then go and step on your throat and keep throwing touchdowns.
Yeah.
He does not quit.
Yeah.
And of course, it's I'm happy for Matthew Stafford. He put in his time in Detroit, and you never really heard him complain. And now he's getting his opportunity and making the best of it as well.
I've always liked Stafford. I always thought he would be a good quarterback for the Vikings.
Yeah,
But we always had to play against him, and the guy could come out and throw. For whatever reason, he always shined when he played the Vikings.
yeah. I think that's one of those things where you're familiar, and you kind of know how they're going to attack you, and you know how they set up on defense. And he wasn't afraid to throw the ball. That's for sure.
No, but he looks really, really good this year with the Rams. I'm liking him. I'm kind of going for him as the go-to team this year, and I want to see the Rams win because of Stafford, because I think he deserves it. He's been in the league for a long time. His idol, the guy he likes, is Brett Favre, which made me like
Oh,
him even more.
yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I can. Yeah, he's not afraid to fire it around, so he definitely has some of the Brett Favre mentality. And yeah, it wouldn't bother me a bit to see Stafford get a ring. Like I said, he deserves it.
Yeah, yeah, he does right. He does right. That's what he said in an interview, I think, at one time years ago about
Okay,
he looked up to Brett Favre and wanted to be like Brett Favre,
sure.
and so, but he does some of the things that
Yeah,
that you see Favre. He doesn't do them as well as Brett Favre did,
right.
but he does them well.
Cooper Cup too. It'd be fun to see
Yeah,
him. He's from an FCS school, like a UNI,
yeah,
North Dakota State, things like that, that level, Eastern Washington. So I heard a lot about him when he was playing college football, and then when he came out, and what he's done is amazing.
yeah,
He's pretty talented.
yeah. He really, really is. I was in my office this morning a little earlier, and I have a sports channel on in there,
Uh-huh.
and on the big TV, and they were talking about Burrows, about is he the best or the number one quarterback, and then they had Allen in there, from the Buffalo Bills,
Oh, right. Yep.
then of course Tom Brady, and
Yep.
guess who was down there at third and fourth? Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. That'll be interesting to see where he ends up. What are
Well,
you
my
what are you gonna do? Hey, I got a question for you.
oh, I know what question's coming right now. I can almost hear. I got it this weekend.
There's some rumors he's gonna end up in Tennessee.
Oh, and that'll be tough. I will. I don't know how I'm going to handle that, Pete. That'd be like if we went to the Vikings too.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna handle that. I'm hoping it doesn't happen. You know.
Yeah, it's gonna be
And,
an interesting off season for him.
oh yeah, he's building a house down in Nashville right now,
Correct. Yep.
and I'm like, what are you doing? Stay away. Just stay away from Minnesota or Tennessee. And
That's
go
funny.
go to
We'll wait and
California.
see.
Oh,
I could just see the turmoil in your face as soon as I brought it up.
I do not. My boy brought that up. Hey, Dad, what are you going to do? He kind of the same thing what you just said. Hey,
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers goes plays for Tennessee. What are you going to do? I'm going, what? Because I hadn't heard the news yet.
My I gotta tell you a quick little story. My buddy's a Rams fan, and he sent me a video after Cooper Cup went crazy against Tampa Bay, and it was Cooper Cup highlights set to that song from the Titanic, Celine Dion,
Oh yeah.
near, far, whatever. And I just replied back to him, and I just said, "Well, you realize how the Titanic ended, right?" He
Yeah.
never responded back to me.
Good stuff, Pete. Good stuff. I wish we could continue to talk, but we both got to work, right?
I guess kind of gets in the way, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know. I
Oh
know
well, we
it.
got next week.
Right. Pete, have yourself a wonderful week. All right.
All right, you too, Jay.
That's the good stuff.